Welcome back, everyone, to Grizzly Reviews. My name is Garrett, and today I am bringing you my Blu-ray collection video of 2025. The last time I made one of these was way back in 2023, and I didn't make a single collection video throughout all of 2024, so I felt like I owed y'all an earlier video this year of my collection. So it just so happened that my birthday is on March 23rd, the day that you are seeing this posted. And I'm really excited that it's my birthday. I have tons of plans. I'm gonna go get some sushi and go see Snow White. Hopefully it is not as bad as I think it's going to be. I just want some fun. I just want it to be fun. Lots of things happening for my 26th year on this planet. So I am fully ready to get going. And if you want to help me celebrate, there is going to be a link down in the description of an Amazon wish list that I might have made with maybe more movies that you could add and see in my next collection video. Who knows? But again, that's just extra. If you want to do that, you don't have to. You watching this video is more than enough that I could ask for. I have been collecting Blu-rays for about 5 years now. I got some early DVDs and Blu-rays growing up and going into college, but it wasn't really until summer of 2020 that I was like ham-fisted, let's collect my movies. So here are some pictures flashing on screen of years previous, what my collection looked like. And then when I made my collection video in 2023, I had about 395 movies, if I'm remembering correctly. So now that it's been almost 2 years since that video was made, I just have to get a look at what my Blu-ray collection is. And some caveats before we get into this collection count. When I am counting and the number that goes towards what movie, what television show is going to be the most up-to-date version of that movie. So say, for example, I have a Blu-ray of Cloverfield, and I also have a 4K Steelbook of Cloverfield. I am going to count the 4K as the most up-to-date version of that and what's actually being on the count. And then the Blu-ray of Cloverfield is being counted as a duplicate, just to get those numbers and why I'm counting things that way out of the way. Now that you know how many movies I had back in 2023 when I did my previous count, I want to play a game of seeing if you can guess how many movies I currently have. And as an added twist, how many total television episodes I have. I think both of those numbers are going to be a really fun reveal at the end of this count. And just put all of those in the comments down below. Let's see if you can get it right. Something that I learned when I was filming my 2023 collection count is that it's really helpful if I pre-counted everything beforehand. So in my little notebook, I did pre-count everything. There is a full collection count of like each section, what TV shows, how many episodes are in that season or show specifically. And I'm just really excited with how this count came out. And I think, without further ado, we should just get into my Blu-ray collection of 2025. We're going to move the camera, and we're going to start with my television shows. Starting out in my TVs, I have got Avatar: The Last Airbender with all 3 seasons on DVD. I've got the complete collection of Legend of Korra also on DVD. And then a super rare find that I found at Target for some reason is Dinotopia, the series. Fantastic. Up next, you've got Breaking Bad Season 1, Breaking Bad Season 2, Breaking Bad Season 3, Breaking Bad Season 4, Breaking Bad Season 5, or rather Season 5 Part 1, and then Breaking Bad Season 6 or Season 5 Part 2, depending on how you own them or look at them on Netflix or something. Better Call Saul Season 1, Better Call Saul Season 2, Better Call Saul Season 3, Better Call Saul Season 4, Better Call Saul Season 5, and Better Call Saul Season 6. Then I have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 2, WandaVision, the complete series, Loki Season 1, Hawkeye Season 1, or the complete series, depending on if they make another season or not. But they did put a number 1 on it, so I don't exactly know what's happening there. Loki Season 2, which I haven't even opened yet. Don't look at me. And all 4 of my Marvel shows are going to be in steelbooks and are 4K, just for, you know, counting purposes, making sure everything's very detailed. I feel like I needed to let y'all know that. Peacemaker Season 1, The Sandman Season 1, and all 6 seasons of Community. Love Community. Continuing along with my television shows, I am now in this middle section of them. I have the complete series of Parks and Recreation, my favorite show of all time. The complete collection of The Good Place. Poker Face Season 1. Season 2 is about to come out on Peacock in a month or so. Ted Lasso, all 3 seasons. Lost Season 1. Lost Season 2. Lost Season 3, the very first Blu-ray that ABC Studios ever made, which you get to know in this section right here, which is really cool. There's a little letter that came on this box, and that's kind of amazing. A little bit of history. Lost Season 4, Lost Season 5, and Lost Season 6. Okay, I'm back. I had to change the way I was sitting because my knees are hurting because, again, I'm now 26 years old. My knees are going out. But let's continue. All right, moving along to my third and final television section on this third row right here. We are starting with the complete collection of Game of Thrones in 4K. It's got all 8 seasons of the HBO television show and a special features disc. This is amazing. I am still working on my A Song of Ice and Fire project. I'm just taking a break because of Sunrise on the Reaping, so I was reading more of the Hunger Games books. Then I've got House of the Dragon Season 1 on 4K. I haven't gotten Season 2 yet just because I don't like how they packaged it with its terrible slipcover, so I might get the steelbook for that. I haven't decided yet. Up next is The Walking Dead Season 1, The Walking Dead Season 2, The Walking Dead Season 3, The Walking Dead Season 4, The Walking Dead Season 5, The Walking Dead Season 6, The Walking Dead Season 7, The Walking Dead Season 8, The Walking Dead Season 9, The Walking Dead Season 10, and The Walking Dead Season 11. Then I have The Walking Dead Dead City Season 1, The Last of Us Season 1, Penny Dreadful, the complete series. I think this is 3 seasons of a Showtime television show. And finally, Chucky Season 1 and Chucky Season 2. And that concludes my television show section. Let's move on to my Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Right, we start with Iron Man, then The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America the First Avenger, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, The Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Avengers Endgame. Then we've got Spider-Man Far From Home, Black Widow, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, The Eternals, or Eternals. I think it's just called Eternals. Not good movie anyways. Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, excellent movie, and Deadpool and Wolverine. And that is presently all 34 Marvel Cinematic Universe films that have been released physically. Brave New World is not available yet. Up next is my Pixar collection. This is probably what I am most proud of in my collection, is that I own all of Pixar's films. And I really hope they release Win or Lose physically because I love that show. It is fucking perfect. Starting with the complete Toy Story collection. It's got Toy Stories 1 through 4 in it. Next year we're getting Toy Story 5. Big eye roll. A Bug's Life, Monsters, Inc., a 2-film collection of Finding Nemo and Finding Dory, The Incredibles, and the complete Cars collection with all 3 Cars films, Blu-ray and DVD included, Ratatouille, WALL-E, Up, my favorite Pixar movie, Brave, Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur, Monsters University, Coco, Incredibles 2, then the newer era after COVID really, Onward, Pixar's Soul, which I think is Pixar's best movie, Turning Red in a wonderfully red Blu-ray case, Luca, Lightyear, and then I think the 2 new movies that weren't included in the 2023 count, Elemental and Inside Out 2. And that's every Pixar movie I own. It's all 28 films of theirs. I can't wait for Elio later this year. Maybe I'll make a video on that. Maybe I'm really thinking about making a video on Win or Lose. Let me know if you want that down below. All right, so that concludes my 2 big studio collections. Up next, I am going to move on to my horror collection. Oh, fudge. All right, so we're going to start with this row right here, which includes the big and major franchises of horror. So starting with the Friday the 13th Collection Deluxe Edition. This is by Shout Factory. It comes with all of the Friday the 13th movies, even Freddy vs. Jason, that crossover. So just for sake of counting everything, you've got Friday the 13th, Friday the 13th Part 2, Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter, Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, god-awful movie. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, this is the best one. Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Then you've got Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. Jason X. Freddy vs. Jason. And then the Friday the 13th remake. Up next is the complete Chucky collection. This has all of the Chucky movies, including Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3, Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, and Cult of Chucky. I do not own the Child's Play remake. I don't think I ever will. On my own volition, if someone gifts it to me, that's something different, but I'm not gonna pay money for it. I've got the Scream 3 movie collection. This has Screams 1, 2, and 3. Then I've got Scream 4, Scream 2022. I don't remember which year they came out, but this is also Scream 5, but they call it Scream because, you know, it's a requel and it's making fun of all the requels. And then maybe my favorite of the sequels, Scream 6, fabulous, fantastic movie. Up next is the Halloween franchise. So in 4K, I have from Shout Factory Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. In a Blu-ray triple feature, I've got Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, and Halloween Resurrection. I did not buy these from Shout Factory yet because it's a set of 3. You can't buy them individually and it's a bit too expensive still. So maybe I'll get those soon, but I still have the movies and 2 out of 3 of these are bad. So maybe I don't want to spend a ton of money on it. So I'm perfectly fine with what I own. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and Halloween 2. Still have not watched these. I don't know if they're for me. I don't like Rob Zombie, so I own them, but haven't seen them. Then the most recent Halloween trilogy, Halloween, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Let me know if you want me to make a review on this. I haven't, because I've been avoiding it, but just let me know. The next section in my horror is going to be horror adjacent franchises, and then my personal favorites of the horror genre and other horror franchises in general. It's all mixed into one row. Starting with my favorite movie of all time, Jurassic Park, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and Jurassic World Dominion. Then we've got Godzilla 2014, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Then we've got the Cloverfield 4K Steelbook. This is maybe one of my most prized possessions when it comes to my physical media collection. I just love it so much. My Blu-ray copy of Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then getting into Jordan Peele's movies, you've got Get Out, Us, and my favorite movie of 2022, Nope. Next little section is all A24 horror movies. So there's The Witch or The Vavitch, The Lighthouse, Hereditary, Midsommar, which is what the movie poster is in my room right now. X, possibly my favorite horror movie of all time. I haven't really decided. I do love this movie a lot. Pearl. Then I've got my copy of Maxine. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And a movie I can't wait till the sequel comes out, Talk to Me. Finally, on this section, I've got the Nightmare on Elm Street collection. This has A Nightmare on Elm Street, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, and Wes Craven's New Nightmare. And then on its own, I have A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake, which is bad. The next section is going to be the rest of my horror franchises. Whether or not I have the complete franchise in these movies, I'm just going to put them here if they're at all part of a franchise. So like I have the first original Carrie, but I don't have Carrie 2 or any of the remakes. So starting with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I want to just individually put each word on there so you know that it's the original that I have and not any of the sequels that use the same title. Just close the space or remove the, which is fucking stupid, by the way. Paranormal Activity 6 movie collection. This has Paranormal Activities 1 through 4, and then the marked ones and the Ghost Dimension. I have a 4K steelbook of Beetlejuice, The Blair Witch Project, Insidious, Insidious Chapter 2, Insidious Chapter 3, which to me is a really terrifying movie, and Insidious The Last Key. I've got the Leprechaun 7 film collection, which has Leprechaun, Leprechaun 2, Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun 4 in Space, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, and then Leprechaun Returns? No, Leprechaun Origins. And then separately, I have Leprechaun Returns. It Chapter 2, Jaws, I don't own 2 through 4. Candyman, I don't own any of the sequels or the requel. Carrie, again, I don't own any of the sequels or remakes. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, don't care to own any of the new ones. A Quiet Place Part 2, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, The Shining, Doctor Sleep, The Mummy Trilogy with The Mummy Returns, and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I grew up on these movies. I really love them. It Follows, which presently hasn't had its sequel made yet, but because it was announced as a franchise and to conserve space, it's within the franchises. Psycho, the 60th Anniversary Edition. Alien 6 film collection. This has got Alien, Aliens, Alien, Cubed. Cubed is 3, right? Or is that... I think it's Cubed. Anyway, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. And then on 4K, I have Alien Romulus, one of my favorite movies of last year. This terrified me to bits in theaters. Alien vs. Predator, both Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I haven't watched these movies. I know they're garbage. And then I've got the Predator collection with 4 movies, Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and The Predator, because we can't figure out a better name for them. And then I have The Exorcist with the directors and original cut in this amazing little booklet that I got for $2 on Facebook Marketplace. And the final shelf for my horror collection is just every other horror movie I own in alphabetical order, plus a horror documentary. So, starting with Abigail, The Blackening, Black Swan, which you could technically call a horror or not a horror. If I need to make space, I'll put it in the alphabetical section of the regular movies. Brightburn, The Cabin in the Woods, Cobweb, if you want to say it in one word. Color Out of Space, Crawl, Dead Silence, Horror Noir, A History of Black Horror. This is the documentary I was talking about. The Invisible Man, Interview with the Vampire, the original movie. I don't own the television show. Jacob's Wife, fantastic film. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Krampus, Last Night in Soho. Again, technically, you could say this is a horror movie because that's what Edgar Wright was trying to do. But at the same time, it's not really that scary to be a horror movie. It's more of like a thriller, but I'll put it in here because it's what he was going for. Little Shop of Horrors, bop doo wop. Long Legs, Malignant. If you have not seen Malignant, watch Malignant. It is a purposefully bad, absurd movie in the best way possible. Watch Malignant. Megan, which I should put in the franchise, but I just haven't yet. The Menu, again, horror-ish, but I'll still put it in horror. The Mist, The Night House, another amazing movie. I wish I saw this movie in theaters. I elected not to, and I regret it absurdly. Poltergeist, the original. Again, I could put that in franchises. I just haven't. Ready or Not. The Relic. If you haven't seen this movie, go see it. Also read the book Relic by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. That is one of my favorite book franchises of all time. I really want to remake this movie. This is my dream movie to remake. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Spree. The Substance. Amazing. The Thing. This is the original movie directed by John Carpenter. Trick or Treat. Twister. And finally, You're Next. And that is all of my horror movies. It's a huge, giant collection I have for horror. I'm very proud of my horror collection, although I am missing so much. We are more than halfway there. All we have left to do is my 7 sections of alphabetical regular movies and then a little miscellaneous section at the end. So let's just jump into my alphabetical movies. Starting with 1917, Aladdin, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, Aquaman, Argo, Asteroid City, Atomic Blonde, James Cameron's Avatar. This is the little booklet of the Blu-ray Extended Edition. The Amazing Spider-Man, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2. We've got the Back to the Future trilogy with Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. I think that's how they're titled. Yeah, Back to the Future Part 1, 2, and 3. Bad Times at the El Royale. Barbie. I've got a Batman 4-film collection of Batman, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. Batman The Long Halloween Part 1. And Batman The Long Halloween Part 2. Matt Reeves' The Batman. Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. The Big Short. Black Hawk Down. Blade trilogy with Blades 1, 2, and Blade Trinity. Blade Runner The Final Cut and Blade Runner 2049. Bohemian Rhapsody. Brother Bear and Brother Bear 2. Bros. Bullet Train. Challengers. Clue. Chicago. Coraline. And Crazy Rich Asians, and that's going to complete this first section of the alphabeticals. Moving on, we've got the original version of The Crow. Dances with Wolves, this is the extended edition. I wish I had the theatrical because that's what won the Oscar. The Dark Knight trilogy on Blu-ray, that includes Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Deadpool. Deadpool 2, The Devil Wears Prada, and Die Hard. Dumbo, Dune, and Dune Part 2 on 4K. And then you've got Dungeons and Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, Dunkirk, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, my second favorite movie of all time, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fall Guy. I have a 8-movie collection of Fast and Furious, which has The Fast and the Furious, Too Fast, Too Furious, The Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, and The Fate of the Furious. I haven't watched any of these. I've owned this for like 4 years at this point, and they just don't interest me, which is why I didn't see any of the new ones in theaters or pick them up at all, which is shameful, I know. The Fault in Our Stars. The Favorite, amazing movie. Ford versus Ferrari, which, I mean, I feel like I want to rewatch this before F1 for some reason. and The French Dispatch. I've got Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, The Gentleman, Girls Trip, Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, Glass, The Godfather, the Coppola restoration with The Godfather Part 2 and The Godfather Part 3, Goodfellas, Gone with the Wind, Gravity, Green Book, and in the last movies of this section, Gremlins and Gremlins 2, The New Batch. Moving along to the next section of alphabetical movies, we're starting off with The Green Knight, Hacksaw Ridge, Harry Potter complete 8-film collection that has Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets or Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. Hidden Figures. The Hobbit, all 3 of the movies that has The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug, and The Hobbit, The Battle of the 5 Armies. Hocus Pocus. Howard the Duck, amazing, bad, fun movie. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And How to Train Your Dragon trilogy with How to Train Your Dragon, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Why can't you just call it 3? Why do you have to add a subtitle to it? We've got The Hunger Games, The Hunger Games Catching Fire, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, and The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Finally, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I've got a very old 4-film collection of Indiana Jones with Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And then on its own, I have Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, a movie I have yet to rewatch. Up next, we've got Interstellar, In the Heights, Into the Woods. This is the Broadway pro shot that I got off Facebook Marketplace for, can you believe it, $1? This runs $40 to $100 on resellers or like fresh new, and I got it for $1. The Iron Claw, Isle of Dogs, I, Tonya. I have the 007 James Bond collection, which includes, bear with me, Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball, You Only Live Twice on Her Majesty's Secret Service, Diamonds Are Forever, Live and Let Die, The Man with the Golden Gun, The Spy Who Loved Me, Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only, Octopussy, A View to a Kill, The Living Daylights, License to Kill, GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. And then on its own, individually, my favorite movie of 2022 or 2021, again, I forget which movie year that this came out, No Time to Die. Moving on to the next alphabetical section, we've got John Wick chapters 1 through 3, and then you've got John Wick chapter 4. Which one's called Parabellum? Is that chapter 3? Yeah, chapter 3 is Parabellum. I was like, why didn't I add that when I was explaining it? Jojo Rabbit. Joker, I don't think I'm going to buy fully a That's going to be one that will have to be gifted to me if I ever want it. It's like to have it in my collection. Joy. Joyride, an amazing comedy. One of the few that I actually like. Jungle Cruise. Kiki's Delivery Service, Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2, the original King Kong. Not to say the original, but this is the released by Shout Factory. This is the one that has Jeff Bridges in it. Then you've got King Kong, the Ultimate Edition. This is the one that has Jack Black in it and Adrian Brody, I think. Yeah, Adrian Brody. Boo, Adrian Brody. Of course, Adrian Brody's in a fucking long movie. Same with his fucking long Oscar speech. And then you've got King Kong versus Godzilla. The King's Speech, Knives Out, Netflix. I want Glass Onion released physically. If I have to buy it for $40 from Criterion, I will do that, but please give me Glass Onion so I have it with Knives Out, because I want to own them. If I have one movie, why can't I have the other? Netflix, get your stuff together. Release your stuff physically, but don't do it like you did Stranger Things Season 1 and 2, because those are garbage releases. I'm sorry. Kubo and the Two Strings, La La Land, The Last Duel, watch this movie, Lilo and Stitch and Lilo and Stitch 2, Stitch Has a Glitch, the live-action remake of The Little Mermaid, maybe my favorite remake that Disney has produced, Greta Gerwig's Little Women, Logan, Lord of the Rings, which has all three movies, Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and Return of the King, and Mad Max Fury Road, the musical remake of Mean Girls, which again is a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm not gonna fight anyone on that. Memento, Minari. I've got a 6-movie collection of Mission Impossible with the first 3 Mission Impossibles, Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation, and Fallout. Moonlight. The Muppets Christmas Carol, The New Mutants, and The Northman. Moving along alphabetically, we've got the Ocean's 4 film collection with Ocean's 11, 12, 13, and 8. Office Space. Oppenheimer on 4K. This is my favorite movie of 2023. Paper Towns. Parasite. The Peanuts movie. The Phantom of the Opera. Then we've got Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, and Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, my favorite Thanksgiving movie. We've got Planet of the Apes trilogy, all on 4K. This has Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War of the Planet of the Apes. Then individually, I've got the 4K of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because if I'm going to have one in 4K, originally I have to get the rest of the franchise in 4K. Poor Things. The Prestige, my 3rd favorite movie of all time, although it might get knocked down by The Wild Robot at some point. Promising Young Woman. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Amazing movie, by the way. Watch Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. The Revenant on 4K. Saturday Night. Love this movie so much. 7. Shazam, we're just gonna move that one past really quickly. Spider-Man trilogy with Spider-Mans 1, 2, and 3. Then you've got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse on 4K. Sicario. Sisu. Sorry to Bother You, which is an insane movie. The Sound of Music. And finally, Spaceballs. The second to last alphabetical section is going to start with Speed. Spirited Away. I'm just going to slide over. Split. A Star is Born, the Lady Gaga version. And then I have the Disney 100 Special Edition Steelbooks 4K for Star Wars A New Hope. Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars The Return of the Jedi, sorry, not the, but you know. We've got The Suicide Squad, Super 8, Tar, Tenet, and Titanic. Up next is Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Transformers Age of Extinction, and Transformers The Last Knight. Unbreakable, Venom, don't really care for getting the sequels, V for Vendetta, Vice. Getting into all the X-Men movies, we've got X-Men, X2, X-Men United, X-Men The Last Stand, or X3 The Last Stand. I don't know how they say it. X-Men Origins Wolverine, X-Men First Class, X-Men Days of Future Past, which I have this copy of, and a duplicate, the Road Cut, X-Men Apocalypse, X-Men Dark Phoenix, the Pro Shot of Waitress the Musical, and the original West Side Story movie. And to close out my alphabetically organized movies, we've got The Whale, Wicked, which is on the 4K. I have The Wild Robot, my favorite movie of 2024, on 4K. The Wizard of Oz, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Wolverine, Wonder Woman, Wreck-It Ralph, and Zootopia. Finally, the last section of my movies is just a miscellaneous collection of DVDs and other various Blu-rays, so let's jump into that. Starting with Dirty 30. I wish I could get a Blu-ray of this, but they didn't release one when they put out this movie. It's upsetting. Pacific Rim, again, when I need to upgrade to Blu-ray. Another one, Fences, which I need to upgrade to Blu-ray. The Conjuring, which I kind of just want to get a full collection set when the last Conjuring movie gets put out, just so we can be over with that franchise. I've got a duplicate The Lighthouse on DVD, because this is how I originally bought it, because I didn't have a Blu-ray player yet, but I wanted to see the movie. And then when I got a Blu-ray player, I bought the Blu-ray for it, so now I have a duplicate of it. And then I've got this VHS style package, The Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, that unfortunately just doesn't fit with where I put my regular movies. Moving on to some real life stuff, I have a DVD of a marching band show that I performed in during high school. I have my junior year musical Legally Blonde that it's not professionally shot, but you know, it was filmed with a camera. You've got a documentary for the 2016 World Series champion Chicago Cubs that I have a 8-disc collection of the 8 games that it took them to win the World Series. And then finally, I have the 2015 Stanley Cup Champions Blu-ray for the Chicago Blackhawks. And that is going to conclude my Blu-ray collection for all of my films and television. But that is not the only physical media I collect. Since I only buy video games physically, I have a collection of those. So I thought, why not make a little addendum at the end of this video to show all of the video games that I have. So let's jump into those, starting with my Nintendo Switch games, which I have Switch Sports, Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Super Mario Party Jamboree. I have the Harry Potter collection with both Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 4 and 5 through 7, Mario Party Superstars, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Pikmin 4, Super Mario Odyssey, and finally Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Moving on to all of the games I have on PlayStation, whether I play them on my PlayStation 4 or 5, doesn't really matter to me how I organize it. So here they are. I've got Fallout 4, my newest purchase, Spider-Man 2 for the PS5, The Quarry, Epic Mickey Rebrushed for the PS5, NHL 23 for the PS5, Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man Miles Morales PS4, Guardians of the Galaxy, NHL 20, God of War, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Kingdom Hearts 3, The Last of Us Remastered, and Lego Jurassic World. And then finally for my Wii, I've got Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Indiana Jones The Original Adventures, Lego Indiana Jones 2 The Adventure Continues, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, Beijing 2008, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Wii Sports, and Wii Sports Resort. So that is going to completely have all of my disc versions of physical media. Maybe another time I'll get into what books I own. But that is for a separate day. And now let's get to the results. I really wanted to do these results with like envelopes like I'm at an awards ceremony, but I felt like that was just going to be a little bit too extra for what we're doing today. So the final results are as such. For television, I have a total of 24 shows. So within those 24 shows, we've got 3 DVDs, 16 Blu-rays, and 5 4Ks. And then included in all of that, there are 4 steelbooks. So what does that all mean? That means I have 80 seasons of television shows with 1,103 episodes of TV. My video games, I have 8 for the Wii, 3 for the PS5, 11 for the PS4, and 10 for the Nintendo Switch, which totals out to 32 physical video games. And the moment you have been waiting for, the grand total movies that I have is 481 movies. 50 of those movies are animated. The other 431 are live action. 21 of those movies are 4K. That's a mix of live action and animation. I have 4 movies that are on DVD, 456 that are Blu-ray. There's a couple IRL things. I have, I think 6 IRL DVDs and Blu-rays mixed together. In my movies, I have 5 steelbooks. So with the 4 in my television shows, I have a total of 9 steelbooks. And then overall, I only have 3 duplicate movies right now with The Lighthouse, Cloverfield, and X-Men Days of Future Past, which is the road cut. That is going to conclude my Blu-ray collection of 2025 video. I am just so shocked at the amount of movies that I have. It's insane. It's a lot, I know. I didn't get 100 more between the last time I recorded and now. It was TV shows that really got a huge boost from everything I've collected in the year and a half or so, almost 2 years now. But thank you so much for watching this. Don't forget, down below, there's gonna be links to my TikTok and an Amazon wishlist if you wanna add any movies to my collection for my birthday. Again, today is my birthday. So yeah, that is going to be how I leave it. Thank you again for watching. If you want to know the next time I make one of these Blu-ray collection videos or just any video that I have in general, make sure you hit subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye! Wait a minute. I can't even, what you really buy. Thank you. Early 90s for being at the height of our romance. See you never.